Hi all, welcome back to Learning Partner. So this is the ReactJs tutorial going on, right? So we started last week. Now all the basic topics are completed. Now we have slowly moving towards the API integration. Like started with we have seen key what are components, how do you create component, event and data binding, use state hook, use effect hook. We have seen how do we conditionally hide and show elements. How do we let's say you have an array and how do you iterate that array into table, ULLI. Basically, how do you show the data? Router. So we have seen how do you create routes, navigation, how do you navigate with parameters, how do you read that parameter, right? Then reusable component, what are props, how do you send data from parent component to child component? So we have seen some very good example of reusable component. Then we started get API integration. So get API and the post API are done. Now we are going to see put and the delete. With this we will complete our CRUD application, right? Again we will see forms. Like in Angular we use third party component, third party libraries for form validation and all, so that we are going to see. Moving ahead, if you are new, please do subscribe, and in video description we'll be finding a link of my WhatsApp group. You can join that to connect with me. So mostly we were targeting full stack profile and AI related stuff. Now Angular, so much of content was already there. .NET I'm going to start after this, but React. Why React? Because it is so much in demand, because people, companies are not finding right resources. But consider you are a Angular developer or a Vue.js developer and you are aware about JavaScript fundamental and you know the TypeScript. So it's a good thing. You can start React and add one more bucket to your technology, right? So sorry, one more technology in your bucket. So again, you, those who are currently giving interviews, right? So you will increase your chances of getting interviews. Even if you are saying, yeah, I'm good with I'm good with basic knowledge of the React.js, I'm strong in Angular, companies will try to at least schedule your interview. If you are able to provide the relevant answer, that's good, right? So learn the React, because that is the need of the market. Again, we cannot limit it to one technology. You have to know all the technologies. Again, related only. I'm not saying directly learn Python or directly learn Java, but when we talk about Angular, React.js and Vue.js or React, right? These are related technologies, so we should know. Now the same project we are following. So here last episode we completed Get and the post API integration. Now we have to see how do we integrate the put and the delete API. So API we are using from freeprojectapi.com. Bus booking is the project. So here you can see get API and the post API we have integrated. Now we have to check put and delete. Means how do you update the existing record and how do you delete it? Now in the grid we had edit button. When we integrated the record, we added edit button. Now on click of edit, what you should happen? Once you click on the edit, your form should populate with the data, right? So let's write an event for that. So this is the edit button. Now over here, you will write on click function, round bracket, arrow function, because we are going to pass the data. So on edit, and here you will pass this particular object. See what object you are currently iterating, that object you are passing as a parameter. Let's create this function. Now in the get API only you are getting the whole data. So no need to call another API to get whole record. We can do that also, but in get API you are getting all the data, whatever you have in vendor object. So constant on edit item colon. Now what type of data you are getting? Vendor model. So we have created interface of it. So this is model only you are getting. So that you need to catch it over here. So data type will be this. Now, once you get the data, that you need to set it to your state, that is vendor object, because this is there, right? So you will store it over here, item. Now once you click on the record, that data is getting populated. Let me show you. So here we were printing it. Let me show you. So here you can see above the form we are printing just the state data. Now see, if I click on Rahul Dravid, see, data is getting populated. See, understood? But our form is not showing the updated value. Our form should repopulate with the values, right? So for that, you need to use property binding, that is value. So whatever you have used, that same thing you need to bind it over here. Over here, value. So this is kind of a two-way data binding we are achieving. Then contact number will go over here. Let's copy. Then your email ID. So this will go over here. Now you see, once you click on the edit, See, wherever you are clicking on the edit, that record is getting populated. Let's refresh. If you click on edit, see. Now, if you click on the edit, instead of save, you have to show the update button. Now, what is the difference between save and the update? Let me show you. So I will print vendor ID also. So first I will print vendor.vendor ID. When you are creating a new record, vendor ID will be zero. Vendor ID is your primary key. That will be zero. See, initially it will be zero. But once you click on any record, that particular vendor ID will be there. So this you can use to hide and show save and the update button, right? So let's use that. So this is will be your condition. If this vendor ID is zero, means you are creating a new record. Otherwise, you are updating. So here again, how do you do the conditional rendering? So this condition equal to zero. If this is there, and you need to render this save button over here. One more. If this is not zero, means if it is something you are into edit mode, not equal to zero, then you will have update button over here and update button. So here update user, and for update I'm adding some different class, that is success, so that we can clearly identify it. Save. Now you can see we are rendering save and the update button based on the condition. If the vendor ID is zero, we are rendering save button, otherwise update button. Let's save it and check. So if I refresh, by default, you can see save button because vendor ID is zero. If I click on edit, see, you got update button. Now for update, you have a different API call with the method put, right? So, and you need a parameter also, whatever the ID, which vendor you are trying to update, that ID you need to send it along here. Let's say something like this. So your URL becomes like this. So this is your put URL. Now on click of put on update vendor. Why square bracket? Let's create this function. So just like add function, it will be almost similar, constant. Again, API call is going to be there. So it should be async one. Write the code manually because in interview, they are not going to let you use any AI tool or they are not going to use any Google. So you have to be comfortable writing the code by yourself. That's why I'm also not, because it's been so many days I didn't touch React. So I'm doing every code I'm writing by myself, not taking any help of AI tool. Put API. So this is going to be your URL. Let me copy. This is your URL. Now here ID you need to pass. So what ID, which record you are updating, so that you know already. So your new vendor object. What is the, okay, sorry, vendor object. Your state dot vendor ID. You have to pass the primary key in the URL, and then second parameter will be your whole object. So vendor object, nothing but your whole object. Your API call again, the, I don't know, 200 I think get for put. So I will copy this status code. Let's write for 200. I'm not sure, but 200 I think I'm returning. So these APIs are created by me only, but again, so many project APIs there. So sometimes I won't be able to remind. So vendor updated successfully. Let's change the message. And after vendor successfully update, we are again calling the get API. So table should have the updated data. Let's check it now. So Rahul Dravid one was there. Mobile number was something like this. Now let's try to click on edit. Instead of Rahul Dravid one, let's make it one. Let's add mobile number 1122112233. Rahul Dravid @ gmail.com. So whole data I have changed. Now let's check the update API call. Update user. So here you can see put ID is equal to 82. API error we got. No, it's not an API error. API is returning 204. Why I'm returning 204 from my API? That is totally wrong. Let me check reload. Let's check the get API. If the data is coming proper, then it's okay. Yeah, data got updated. Right. So 204 I'm returning. So as I said, Nagi, I was not sure like, what I'm returning from this API for the success and the error. So if it is success 204. So check the API return, what you are returning, just like that, you add it. Let's do one more time. Let's modify this Sandeep Travels. Sandeep, let's make it T capital, travels, Pune, right? Let's add mobile number 0099009988. And let's say sandeeptravels@gmail.com. Now on click of update user, API call happen, you got a success call and then get bus vendor. So now you can see immediately record got updated over here. This is simply update. So when you do the update, on click of edit, first you need to populate the record. So currently in this get API, we were getting whole data, so we didn't make an API call. But I have an API call for that also. This API call. Here, if you pass the ID 86, so you get a single object. So sometimes in get API call, you don't get the whole object, right? So you will call the on click of edit, you will call the API and that data you store. Currently, we are getting from the click function. Now the delete part. Now on click of delete, you want to integrate the API. So where is it? Yeah, delete method. So what you need to pass? The ID itself. Delete method and the ID. So this is your delete URL. Let's create another function. Constant on delete vendor. Make sure your function name, state name, everything should be descriptive enough, right? When you are appearing for the machine test, they will ask you to write some piece of code, right? So if you're not writing proper variable name and everything, that they might judge you on that. Okay. Now, so here constant result is equal to await axios. Again, you can make fetch API also and axios also. In first get API, I have already shown you just like that fetch API will work. So it is delete URL. Now in URL, you need to pass the ID. So when this function you will call, you will pass the ID. So that ID, you need to catch it over here. ID colon data type will be number. And whatever the ID you get, that you will pass it over here. So dynamic ID. That's it. Then your if and else check. Again, I'm not sure what data I will get. So let it be like this. Deleted successfully. And after that, we will call the API so that the records will get deleted. Now this function I need to call on the delete button. So on click, round bracket, function, and I don't need to pass the whole data. I just need to pass the vendor ID because that's what's needed in delete API call. Let's check it. Reload. Now let's try to delete this NNN record, even though it is not valid. If I click on delete, I'm getting 500. Why? So for this record, there might be some dependency in bus schedule. So that's why I'm not able to delete. So from API, you're getting an error 500. Okay. And you're getting the response also. Let's try to show the response correctly here. Okay. Now, I wanted to explain this in the next video, but since it is breaking now, so here your code is breaking. Your API call is breaking, means it is returning 500. So how do you catch it now? So you add a try catch block. Okay. Again, because I'm going with very basic, so everyone should be able to understand. That's why in the first way, I didn't explain you try catch, but now since the scenario is there, so let's add try catch. This try block, right? The valid code will be over here. And if something breaks, then your debugger in catch block. Now let's try to format it. Now let's see it. Now again, if I try to click on delete, see, you got an error. Now in error, you got to know why I'm not able to see. Let's try to print it over here. So in error, you get request failed with status code 500. Axios error. Error is an object. So error dot axios error. Okay, directly message you are getting. So whatever the error you are getting, that you can simply display. So here alert API error. And here you can just bind your message like this. Sorry. Colon over here, then plus. Now user will be able to understand what is happening. So from API, you are getting some error. Okay. API return 500. Right? Because as I said, for this record, there might be dependency. We have foreign key and everything. Let's try to delete second one. So let's try to delete my yours one. This is also has dependency. Or let's try to delete the one which we have created. Test 44. Delete. Yeah. Vendor got deleted successfully. And what is the success? 204 only we are getting. Yeah, but why? Yeah, 204 got, then after that get API. So you can see from our table that record got deleted. 444. Let me refresh. Let's scroll down. See that 44 record what we tried that got deleted. See, I'm deleting the records. Getting it? Okay. But when you delete, you don't directly delete. Sometimes user might click accidentally also, na? So you don't want to directly delete. So what we do, we show a warning. Are you sure you want to delete or not? So for that constant is confirm. Confirm box we will use confirm box. We can pass a message. Are you sure want to delete? If user says when you use the confirm box, you get OK and the cancel button. If user clicks on OK, the return will be true. So if it is true, right, then only you need to run this piece of code. That's it. In case of false, you don't need to do anything. So let me format. Let's check it now. Let me show you. So if I click on delete, see, I got the confirm box. If I click on cancel, see, no API call is happening. See one more time. But if I click on delete and if I click on OK, one API call is there. And after that, get API call record got deleted. That's it. This is your simply CRUD operation. Again, the same logic you used to write in your Angular app also, right? Or Vue.js, any technology logic stays the same. Again, I'm saying this. That's why I'm saying ki even if you know the basic concept, whatever we have seen till now, if this basic is clear, yeah, I agree that so many concepts are there in React.js till now, but this is the basic only. How does React work? What are the basic fundamentals of React.js? What are hooks? How do you do the API integration? Then at least let's say you are working in Indian MNCs, TCS, Infosys, they don't ask you that do you know React.js? Do you have working experience? They will directly tell you, ki, yeah, we have React.js opening. Would you like to catch up that opportunity? Right? If let's say you are on bench, they will come up with some opportunities. Like if you are saying, no, I just know Angular, there is a question mark on you. In this current market situation with AI can do almost everything, you cannot limit yourself just to one technology, right? So expand your grow, learn one technology which is related to you. It's not completely new. Most of the logic, whatever things you know are already over here. Little bit of syntax is here and there, right? So just try it. Trust me, you will be able to get it if you have Angular experience. You will definitely able to understand React also. Okay. Fine. So again, if you are new, please do like and subscribe. In video description, you will be finding a link of my WhatsApp group. You can join that. If any suggestions or any improvement is there, please do comment. I will be happy to take on in the next video. Thank you. Thanks for watching.